All right. Hi, guys. We are starting our textile unit, and today we're going to talk about fabric, color, and design. So here are your objectives. We'll be able to distinguish between fabric printing and techniques. We'll be able to create a color wheel, explain various color schemes, design a garment, so clothing, with that color scheme in mind. And as we go through this PowerPoint, there will be a note guide as well. So whether that's in Google Classroom or passed out, I'll give you those directions where that is. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit first about fabric design, and we'll dig deeper into this once we start our go further into our textiles unit, and we start talking about fibers and weaves. So there are 3 types of dyes, and you can, let's see, fabrics are printed or designed 3 different ways. We have fiber dye, yarn dye, and piece dye. A fiber dye is where fibers are dyed before they are spun into yarns and then fabric, usually done when the fabric is made out of yarn or multicolored. And I have an example here, and I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see this, but it is my example that I use because when I pull the edges off, you can see that each of these yarns that's been woven is a separate color. And then so they take each of these yarns and weave them together to make the pattern. And this one, the pattern is different on the back than it is on the front. So, fiber dye. Then we have yarn dye, and this is where fibers are spun into yarns, then the yarns are dyed, used to make multicolor fabrics. They're used to weave structural patterns, not printed patterns. And then it's typically the same pattern on the front as it is in the back. And that is my example here. So if I fold it in half, you can't really tell a difference between the front and the back because the fibers were spun and then dyed. Then we have piece dye, and this one is the most common when it comes to fabric that we buy at the fabric store like Hobby Lobby or Walmart. This is where fibers are spun into yarns and then yarns are woven into the fabric. So you have a sheet of fabric and then the whole sheet of fabric is then dyed or printed on. So examples would be like tie-dye. And this one would have a different front than the back. So if I fold this over, you can kind of see the difference from the front and the back. We call this good side and bad side in sewing. So this fabric was made and then just ran through a dye printer and printed on. Okay. All right, so now we're going to talk about colors. So there is a color wheel on your notes, and there are color pencils in the student supply cabinet. I would like for you to take a few minutes. We'll pause this video, take a few minutes, and start by labeling the color wheel on your notes. And then you can go in, if you have time, and color that. The end goal today is to get through this, so if we don't have time to finish the color wheel, that's fine. We can always go back. Okay? Please remember to sanitize pencils, color pencils, and crayons before putting them back in there. So go ahead and pause. All right. Excuse me. Colors. So there are several terms that accompany the concept of colors. So we have hue, and that's the name given to the color. So that's going to be red, green, blue, yellow, all of those. Then we have primary colors. These cannot be created. Okay. So colors that cannot be created on the color wheel. So I can't mix any 2 colors to make red, yellow, or blue. And those are our primary colors. Go ahead and star them on your color wheel. Then we have, to mix 2 primaries together, you get a secondary color. And our secondary colors are green, violet, and orange. Violet is the correct term, not purple. But that's okay if we call them that. Let's go ahead and put a circle by them. Intermediate colors are produced when you mix one primary and one secondary color. So the primary color yellow mixed with green would be yellow-green. Red mixed with violet would be red-violet. So go ahead and put a square next to the intermediate colors. All right, so now we're going on to our color scheme. And if at any point you need to pause this video to finish your notes or go back, rewind, please do so. So now we're going to talk about, there are 4 different color schemes we're going to learn today, and then you will choose 3 of the 4 that we are talking about to do a color project. Okay, so the first color scheme we're going to discuss is monochromatic, and the definition of monochromatic is the same hue, so one color. Mono means one. Okay, so you can see here that in the lower left photo, it is all reds, some tangerinis, but same hue. Okay, that is monochromatic color scheme depicted in clothing. So the one on the right is a similar outfit. You can kind of see it is one color. They chose that coral pink and stuck with it. Okay, yes, the pants are a little bit white. They don't match exactly, but it is the same hue. Then we have analogous, and these are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So I think of like a piece of pie. So 1, 2, 3 colors next to each other on the color wheel. Example would be yellow, yellow, green, yellow, orange. The other example I have down here is the blue, blue, green, and green. So those are all examples there. Then we have complementary, and complementary are colors on the opposite side of the color wheel. So as you can see in the lower right hand photo, they're directly across from each other. Okay, so example could be yellow, purple, violet, blue, orange. Let's see if I look, green, red. Both of the examples here happen to be blue and orange, except for the flower. That one is purple and yellow. But those are examples for you to take a look at. Then our last one we're going to discuss today is Triad. Okay, this is where 3 colors sit next, or there are 3 total colors. Tripod, right? 3 total colors that are evenly spaced out across the color wheel. So as you can see here, our primary colors are also triad. So we have red, yellow, and blue. This example here would be, let's see here. If you look at the color wheel, what would the example be? So it's kind of take that triangle and twist it. That shirt would be kind of a yellowy orange, okay? A blue green, and then a red violet, okay? So evenly spaced out on the color wheel. All right. So those are the 4 color schemes that we are going to be focusing on. Let's see, now we're going to our color project. So let's talk a minute about this color project. If you need to pause, finish your notes before going on and learning about this color project, please do so now. So the color project, I will be showing examples at the end of this, but you are to choose 3 of the 4 color schemes we just talked about. So monochromatic, complementary, triad, and analogous. Okay, you need to choose 3 of those total. Okay, then you are going to be sketching on a fashion croquis, which is like a flat. Okay, and I will have all of these items put together in a bucket for you at the front of the room. Okay, so for, say I'm choosing triad, I will get 1 croquis to sketch on. Okay, I will then sketch my outfit, okay, and color it in with a triad color scheme. Okay, I will then also choose 2 to 3 paint swatches that would depict what those true colors are. Okay, so say I want to go with primary colors. Okay, I would then find color swatches of the primary colors. If for some reason you cannot find color swatches of those primary colors, you can always just get markers and color little pieces of paper in as well, if that's the color that you're wanting. You will label and define each of your color schemes that you put onto your poster. And then you will use the color to design your garment, which we already talked about. And it does not have to match exactly, but it should be within the same hue or family. Okay. You will also include your color wheel on your project. Okay. So I'm going to show you some examples here. So as you can see, this outfit on the left, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but I'm holding over this left. It's purple and yellow. Okay, so that's complementary. They have defined it. They sketched it. Okay, there is a purple belt and purple shoes with the blue jeans. So this works as complementary. They've included their color wheel and they have their 2 color swatches. Here, this is monochromatic. They have chose orange. So she included 3 colors of orange that are depicted on her sketch. And then we have analogous, okay? So they should be colors next to each other on the color wheel. She has chose red and it looks pink, but it probably would be like red violet. And then notice how these are also in the hall right now if you have a moment, and then you can step out and take a look at several of these. And then the bottom one is also a great example. They did not have room on their sheet for the color wheel, so she just added it up here in the corner, and it works perfect. Both of these are great examples. They are nice, neat, well done. If you need to print things off instead of having your handwriting done or on there as well, that is fine. These are going to be due. Let me pull up the calendar really quick because I can't tell you off the top of my head. I don't remember. Come on. You have several days. The calendar is posted in Google Classroom, and you will be able to determine what it is. Sorry, my thing disappeared. Hopefully that works. So you will be able to get on and determine on the calendar and see when this is due. I can't seem to find my calendar and pull it up for you guys to tell you right now, but if you need to go back and rewatch this to where you understand what the color project exactly is, get creative. You will be graded on making sure that you have 3 croquis sketched. Each one is labeled and defined, and each one has color swatches. Okay, and you also will be graded on your color wheel. So take the next few minutes to finish up your note guides and plan out what exactly it is you will be doing, and then you may get started. If you need to store your things and items in your bucket, you may do that as well.